Growing up, I had a core group of friends. And mostly I think it was our proximity to one another that helped forge our bonds. We all lived in the same subdivision, and we kind of moved in a pack throughout the neighborhood. Play wiffle ball in one house, play basketball at another. We rode bikes everywhere we could. If you've ever watched Stand By Me or maybe even The Goonies, I think we were a lot of like those friend groups depicted in those movies. Now, as is prone to happen, we did grow apart because we moved to different neighborhoods, moved to different states, switched schools. There wasn't anything that truly united us beyond the activities that I mentioned earlier. Of course, thanks to social media, we've discovered each other again and we keep up to date on the events in each other's lives. But there's a definite lack of substance to these friendships. Throughout the course of my life, I have experienced friendships that have come and gone. But in the past couple of years, I have found a new type of friendship. One that has meaning, one that demonstrates a closer bond. Now, I'm not saying that I'm some hermit that never goes out. I'm actually much more social than I was when I was younger, but now I have found the benefit of Christ-centered friendships, and I have learned just how impactful those relationships can truly be. I have found these friendships, meaningful and impactful relationships, in my church, within the bonds of the Baptist bikers. Any one of these people I trust with anything and everything about me. I trust them to guide me. I trust them to speak into my life. And I trust them to pray for me just as I pray for them. As I have gotten older, I have found that I am much more selective about who my friends are. Close friends. Those individuals I would trust with anything and whose counsel is of the utmost importance to me. Jesus himself demonstrated this great importance of having friends, as he said to his disciples in John 15:15. No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, for all that I have heard from my Father I have made known to you. Now, there is a very unlikely friendship, yet a very powerful relationship that we find in the Old Testament between Jonathan and David. Jonathan was the son of King Saul, the very same King Saul who wished to see David dead. But this animosity between David and Saul had no impact on the friendship between the two. As a matter of fact, I'm sure it was a great risk to Jonathan to remain friends with David. In 1 Samuel, we read of how Jonathan warned David to flee simply because of the brotherly love that they shared. Jonathan did not want to see harm come to him. Look at these words we find in 1 Samuel chapter 20. And as soon as the boy had gone, David rose from beside the stone heap and fell on his face to the ground and bowed 3 times. And they kissed one another and wept with one another, David weeping the most. Then Jonathan said to David, Go in peace, because we have sworn both of us in the name of the Lord, saying, The Lord shall be between me and you, and between my offspring and your offspring forever. And he rose and departed, and Jonathan went into the city. Both men were so distraught, this change in their bond, that they wept. But Jonathan says something very striking in verse 42. He indicates that they've sworn a vow of friendship in the name of the Lord, one that extends just beyond the two of them, but to their offspring. Now, this is not just some casual acquaintance. These men are brothers in faith and in life. David held up his end of that bargain by going so far as to take care of Jonathan's son after Jonathan was killed in battle. Friendship is a God-ordained and blessed relationship. God will use these carefully chosen friends to help you grow in your own faith, while at the same time providing you with the opportunities to help them grow as well. Building and maintaining such vital friendships are echoed in the words of Paul in his letter to Thessalonica. Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. Take time to cultivate these friendships that God has blessed you with. These are the relationships that will carry you through for a lifetime.